What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be breaking down the feats for Conquest Volume 19. This is going to be the feats for Conquest to unlock Smee, which is going to be the droid for the new pirate faction. We'll see what we get with pirate characters in the next era, but we do have Smee coming as a Territory Wars lifter for the pirate squad. We'll see how everything pans out with him once we get the full faction in the future, but today we're going to be talking about the feats. These feats are going to be quite a bit more difficult and tedious versus what we've had in the previous seasons. This one's going to have a lot of having to use certain characters in battles multiple times. Sector 3 in particular is going to look like it's going to be very painful. This is also going to require a bit of the new Bad Batch characters as well, with having them survive different battles, gain a lot of stacks of target practice. We're going to break that all down in today's video. If you guys do end up enjoying this video, you find it helpful or informative, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's look at the overall feats, and then we're going to go sector by sector and talk about teams you guys can be using to knock out these feats as quickly as possible. So let's start by taking a look at the global feats here. Our first feat is defeating 250 enemies on the Golden Challenge path. We see that every season. That is to be expected. That is typical by now. The next feat is win 20 battles with a full squad of Bad Batch. Now, we don't know what the full data disc set is going to be for this Conquest season yet. We'll see what happens. We have a couple of them in data mined, but if you don't have the new Bad Batch, which are needed for other feats, you're having to rely on the old Bad Batch, and this can be tricky. We have to see what disc we get, and this may be easy, this may not be. If we have the proper disc set up, this could be easy to get, but again, we'll have to see what happens with those full sets. Next up is attempting to stagger 80 times. Now, this one we've seen before, and this one I do like. There's quite a few characters who have the ability to put out stagger on the entire enemy team. For instance, what comes to mind right away is Fallen Bastila Shan, with her ability to inflict multiple debuffs on the enemy team, and you're able to double dip with her on another feat down below. Sabine Wren with the Phoenix Squadron can throw out her grenades and stagger the entire enemy team. Scout Trooper is another really good option for this, can put stagger on the entire enemy team as well. And you also have Kira. Kira has her grenade throw as well, that can also put stagger on the enemy team. So you've got quite a few different good stagger options here. You should be able to get through this pretty quickly, depending on what teams you run. And then finally, we have attempting to inflict 300 damage over time effects on enemies with an ability. Now, there is a feat in here with Darth Vader. There is a feat as well requiring Darkside Clone Troopers. So if you have Lord Vader, you should be able to get the Darkside Clone Trooper one pretty easily. You're also able to use Darth Vader in Sector 3 to win battles. So you have Vader that you're going to be using for 15 battles in Sector 3. You're going to be able to get most of your damage over time effects done with using him in Sector 3. This one will add up pretty easily. I'm not worried about this one. It's a high number, but that's going to go pretty quickly, especially as you're using Darth Vader. And if you had Lord Vader as well, this should not be a problem either. Now, next up, we have our two feats that give data disc for this as well, and their corresponding data disc feats. First one is win 20 battles with a full squad of light side unaligned force users. If you have a Galactic Legend Rey, this is going to be very easy to work on. If you don't, you're relying on a Seer Junda lead at that point, and you're having to use some other unaligned force users. You have both versions of Rey that are not Galactic Legends. You have Scavenger Rey, you have Jedi Training Rey. You can use both of those as well. You also have regular Cal, you have Fulcrum Ahsoka. You've got some pretty good light side unaligned force users out there. This should not be too difficult for either lead. It's going to be easier if you have Rey, but again, this one should not be an issue. And with this, you're also going to get the booming voice disc, which then you call mass assist with that. Every time the leader uses an ability, the rest of the team assist. Once you get this disc, you knock this one out in no time at all. And then finally, the other one is attempting to inflict crit damage down a total of 80 times. Now, this one is, again, if you're double dipping with Bastila Shan Fallen, her special ability can inflict fear on the enemy team, but also inflicts a multitude of negative effects, including offense down, crit damage down, and stagger. So you've got a bunch of negative defects with her fear ability that's going to go on the enemy team. This is not going to be a problem. If you're getting stagger with Bastila Shan, you're going to be able to get crit damage down in no time as well. Another good option for this is going to be Dash Rendar. If you use his Seeker Missiles ability, this inflicts crit damage down on the enemy team as well. I believe Leia Organa as well with her Log ability, if you have that, can also work here. B2 Super Battle Droid on his basic can inflict crit damage down, but that's not really a reliable one. You also have Saw Gerrera who can use it, so you do have a couple options. I'm personally going to be using Fallen Basila and Dash Rendar quite a bit to try and get this crit damage down effect going and just kind of use them in different teams and see what I can get with them. You've got 2 weeks to knock out 80 crit damage downs. That's going to be plenty of time. So you've got plenty of time between Fallen Basila and Dash Rendar. You should be able to knock that out in no time at all. So let's move on over to Sector 1 feats, and the first one here is gain evasion up 50 times. Now we're already using Bad Batch here to win battles. This one should come pretty naturally. You have both Echo and Hunter with evasion up abilities within their kit. Hunter can give evasion up to his entire team. Echo can give evasion up on his basic. So this one, if you're grinding out the Bad Batch battles here in Sector 1, especially on those data disc notes at the end, this one should come pretty naturally for you. It helps you knock out things. Also defeating 50 enemies with clone trooper units, perfect. You're going to knock out 2 of these, no problem at all, while using Bad Batch to get those victories. This is going to be very, very easy for you if you have that old Bad Batch squad built up. If you don't, you're going to have to rely on some other things. You're going to have to rely on like the old 501st clones without General Skywalker. You're bringing in those 501st clones. You're bringing in like Captain Rex as well. You can also use the for the evasion up, you can use Han Solo, Raid Han, perform the Rancor Pit. You can use him, his special can give evasion up to his team, so that's going to help there if you don't have the old Bad Batch built up. Next up is gain secret intel 60 times. This is going to be through BB-8, so you're going to need BB-8. You're going to have to get the Resistance Squad going here. Get secret intel. Once they have secret intel and they use special abilities, it keeps spreading secret intel. BB-8 just keeps giving it out. So this one should come pretty naturally with a handful of battles with Resistance, and then win 20 battles with a full squad of Spectre. Now, I don't have Spectre built up. This is one I'm probably going to be skipping. You can skip out a total of 34 points throughout the Sector feats. This one I'm probably going to be skipping because I just don't have Spectre built up. I'm not chasing Galactic Legend Ahsoka. I'm not worrying about Spectre. So this one, for me, is going to be a skip. But if you have Spectre built up, this one should be pretty easy too. Now you come to your mini-boss feats, win with 5 surviving, and win with only dark side characters. You have to do this battle twice, but here, again, you've got the clone troopers winning, you've got the different kind of abilities going with clone troopers and everything, so you can bring 5s in with a Bad Batch squad, I guess, and get that evasion up there. Win with only dark side characters, just use your strongest dark side team. If you've got Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in First Order, this will be easy to go. There's no problem there. And then your boss node, win with Cal Kestis surviving. If you've got the online Force user team that you're using here with Lightside to get the booming voice disc, you're going to use it here. Get that Rey or get Seer Junda, get them in here with Lightside unaligned Force users. Use Cal Kestis, boom, done. Get a little progress on that global feat, and you also get this feat knocked out. And then win with Hunter Mercenary surviving. So you're going to see several new Bad Batch characters requiring to survive on boss nodes. If they are not built up, this is where Galactic Legend Rey can make things really easy. There also does have the Bad Batch tag, so you can throw him into the old Bad Batch squad and see if you can get something going on there. You've got Wrecker who can taunt. This one will be tricky if you don't have Rey. Really does kind of help carry these ones, especially if you don't have the new Bad Batch built up. So just kind of throw him on a squad that you think is going to be able to survive, get that knocked out. You should not have any problem with that at all, as long as you've got a strong team around him, just to make sure he survives. So let's move on to Sector 2, and here we've got some pretty good ones here as well. Gain Hellsteel up 60 times. If you have Visas Mar and you're going for that light side unaligned Force user, you use her AoE healing ability here. It gives Hellsteel up to your whole team. This is a pretty good option here. You get able to grind out those light side unaligned Force user abilities. You also have Darth Bane. If you have Darth Bane and you have him, throw him onto a Sith team, you use his Essence of Dominance ability, all Sith allies gain Hellsteel up for 2 turns, another good option there. Kira, if you're using her already for the stagger feat already, her unique ability also is able to give Hellsteel up to herself and other allies, depending on how many times enemies get hit in a single turn. So you have some easy ways to grind this out, especially going to help synergize with some of the other feats we're going for already. Win 10 battles with at least 3 Darkside clone troopers in your squad. If you've got Lord Vader, you're working on the Darkside clones, this should be easy. Probably most people don't. This is probably going to be a skip for most players, but again, that's at least 5 points, so it's not too bad so far. Gain stealth 60 times. Bad Batch here again, the old Bad Batch. Hunter can give stealth to clone trooper allies. You also have R2-D2 that can give out stealth to his allies as well. This one should not be too bad, especially if you're trying to work on Clone Trooper and Bad Batch feats. Win 20 battles without losing any units. That's pretty easy. That one's not too bad. Just a lot of battles you got to grind out if you're losing characters. If you're on a lower GP and weaker characters on your squad, this one can be trickier. This one can be a bit of a grind, but you know, this one should not be too bad. Then we get to our boss sector, then we get to our boss battles here. Mini boss, win with a full squad of Clone Trooper units. If you've got Bad Batch, here you go. If not, you have to rely on that 501st team with Captain Rex, and then win with a full squad of Empire units. If you've got Lord Vader and the Dark Side clones, this should be pretty easy. If not, you're having to use some other Empire teams. Emperor Palpatine works pretty well here. You get Palpatine and you get Darth Vader. They do want to say, well, no, it's just one node here. So yeah, if you use Palpatine and Vader and some other Empire characters, or Lord Vader, if you have him with other Empire characters, should not be too bad. And then we get to the boss node, defeat an enemy with a Spectre attacker. If you've got some good Spectre attackers, go for it. This is probably one I'm going to be skipping because I just don't have Spectre built up. But if you do have Spectre built up and you went for Ahsoka, this one should not be too bad. And then defeat an enemy with Rey Darkside Vision. Now this one, I do not recommend you put her under the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lead. Kylo on his own is just going to wipe out the enemy team. There's not really much of a chance for Rey to defeat enemies. You're going to have to use things like First Order Officer and General Hux to kind of get her damage going. Her damage is a little bit weaker, which is weird considering she's an attacker, but if you do get the right characters in there with her, you're giving her boost to her attack abilities, her damage, this should be doable, but just make sure you're not using that Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lead. Use like a Kylo Ren Unmasked lead just to kind of help make sure you get things knocked out here. Shouldn't be too hard if you've got a good First Order squad and if you have her. If you don't have her, go ahead and skip this one, just like how we have with your Spectre attackers. Another one that probably a lot of players are going to be skipping. So now we're moving on to Sector 3 feats, and this is where things start to get off the rails a little bit in terms of absurdity. So gain defense up 60 times. If you have Bad Batch going already, Wrecker gives defense up to his Clone Trooper allies. That's perfect. If you have unaligned Force users, you're going for that light side Ufu feat here. Seer Junda and Cal Kestis can give defense up to their entire team. So both those are going to work pretty well. This one should not be a problem. Win 15 battles with Darth Vader surviving. Okay, not too bad. You're grinding out the damage over time feats already. Perfect. Gain 400 stacks of target practice. If you do have the old Bad Batch built up and you have Omega Fugitive built up, you can throw her in as the lead on the old Bad Batch squad, swap someone out, and you can get the target practice in there. That is one way to do it, but if you don't have Omega Fugitive built up, you don't have the new Bad Batch built up, this one's going to be very difficult to do because you've got to be able to get her in there. You've got to make sure that they can do a lot of AoEs and grind out that target practice. So if you do have them, perfect. If not, this one's going to be tricky. This is one probably I would not worry about if you don't have Fugitive built up. If you do not have her built up, this may be one to consider skipping just because it's going to be really grindy and it's going to be tricky. And if you're bringing in Fugitive at low gear levels, you're starting to sacrifice stars. So this one, maybe you grind out on the data disk nodes at the end. If not, maybe one you want to skip. And then win 14 battles with no attackers in your squad. So, oh man, who in their mind put 15 battles with Darth Vader and 14 battles with no attackers in your squad on the same sector? That is just, you're pretty much having to do 29 battles to get all the sector feats done here at the minimum with this. So man, this one is rough. This one's grindy. Yeah, 15 battles with Darth Vader if you want to go for the damage over time. 14 battles with no attackers in your squad. That may be one to skip. You know, start grinding out if you need to, but man, that is a lot of battles. 14's a weird number as well. So, yeah, this one's tricky. We'll see how things we'll see how things pan out with that. Mini boss node, win with Omega Fugitive surviving. Again, if you're going for target practice with Bad Batch and you have her built up, this should be okay. If not, this one may be tricky. And then defeat an enemy with Apo. If you've got the Darkside clones built up, that's going to be fine. If not, this may be one to skip as well. And then the boss node, win with Captain Enoch in your squad. That's easy enough. Just throw him in a squad, win the battle, boom, done. Win without using any support units in your squad. If we've got the right data disk here, If you've got something like weak point or building up offense on your team with negative effects on the enemy team, attackers, full attacker squad's easy enough to go for. But this one's not too difficult. It's not as annoying as, say, win without having attackers in your squad. That one should not be too difficult. Yeah, this one's where things start to really get off the rails here, especially with that no attackers and Darth Vader in the same sector. So moving over to the Sector 4 feats, our first one here is attempt to inflict tenacity down 50 times. Captain Rex is a good ability for this one. You don't have Clone Trooper stuff going on here, but Captain Rex can put AoE down on the entire enemy team with tenacity down. If you have Queen Amidala with the Poncho Bros, Master Qui-Gon can apply tenacity down. One good one here, especially since you're going for light side Ufu, Cal Kestis with Sir Junda. Cal Kestis can put tenacity down on the entire enemy team. That one's going to work too. Really good options there. If you have CLS with Chewbacca, you can get tenacity down going through those two characters. Some really good options there. There's also bonus turns here. You can bring in Han Solo and at least get that going too. You then have Inflict Death Mark, and this is where Gungans can double dip here with Death Mark and tenacity down. You have Gungan Phalanx that can put tenacity down on the entire enemy team. Jar Jar's Basic can inflict Death Mark. That's a little bit RNG, so you may get this knocked down in just a couple battles, or may take many more battles. You also have Death Trooper who can apply Death Mark once enemies have been defeated. So a good couple easy options for applying Death Mark if needed. Then you have win 15 battles with Batcher surviving. Not ideal. If you don't have Batcher built up, this one can be tricky. May want to skip that. And then gain a bonus turn 50 times. Han Solo in with CLS and Chewbacca. You got tenacity down, you're getting some bonus turns here. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is a very easy way of getting this knocked out. Darth Vader as well, though you are using him in Sector 3. If you get the Sector 3 feats knocked out, bring him here over to Sector 4. You start using his special, he's getting a lot of bonus turns. That's going to help too. There are quite a few characters out there that can give you bonus turns, though for me, I've always relied on Darth Vader and Jedi Knight Cal, and then Grandmaster Yoda to some extent, especially under Jedi Master Luke ability, they can get some stuff going there. Jedi Knight Revan with his Savior mechanic can give bonus turns as well. You can bring Jedi Knight Anakin in. If someone falls low on health, he takes bonus turns. Perfect. That all works. I believe Padme with Jedi Knight Anakin also works in this way too. So you do have some good options there for bonus turns. Then you get to your boss sector feats here. Win with Darth Vader and Lord Vader surviving. There you go. You get Darth Vader in. You're giving him the bonus turns with Darth Vader. Perfect. Win with Hu Yang surviving. If you've got him at least up to a decent gear level, you can cheese this one pretty easily. Then your boss nodes. Defeat an enemy with Jocasta Nu. If you have her, cool. If not, don't worry about it. This one, you don't really have a choice on that one. And then win with a full squad of Bad Batch. New Bad Batch is going to be better, but old Bad Batch, you should be able to get this to work in one way or another. We'll see how the Day of Disc pan out for this one. And then finally we get to Sector 5 feats, and this is going to filter a lot of people. So first up, attempt to inflict evasion down 60 times. Fallen Basilisk Shan already here with crit damage down and stagger. Now you can triple dip with her here in Sector 5. Her fear ability can also apply evasion down. That's perfect. Cal Kestis again with tenacity down in Sector 4. Now you can use AoE here, apply evasion down, light side unaligned force users. Perfect. Really love that. Then you have Inflict Mark 25 times. So what you can do here is use General Grievous under Emperor Palpatine, or either way, use the Cackling Laugh from Emperor Palpatine. It drains Grievous's health, and then he starts marking enemies, or marking his allies. You can use that. You also have the new Bad Batch with Mark here. You also have Jedi Knight Revan that can mark. There's plenty of characters out there that can mark. Palpatine and Grievous is an easy way to cheese this, but Jedi Knight Revan's good for this. If you've got Batcher and you've got Hunter Mercenary, you can get Mark here as well. Then inflict Order 66 10 times. If you don't have the new Clone Troopers built up, this one is you're probably not going to get done. You've got to get Order 66. We'll see if Scorch has another way of inflicting Order 66, but right now you've got to have CX2 attack the same character 3 times in a row. You have to have Apo get 8 dots on enemy characters and then use his to inflict Order 66. So this may be doable if you don't have them built up, but this one may end up being tricky. We'll have to see. Lord Vader's probably going to help kind of carry the Dark Side clones here, but CX2 can be easily defeated. Disguised Clone Trooper may as well. We've seen some stats on him. This one will be tricky if you don't really have the Dark Side clones geared up. This one's going to be hard to do, especially if they can't survive long enough to inflict Order 66. And then win 14 battles with a full squad of Empire units. If you've got Darkseid clones built up, you're already trying to go for Order 66 here with Lord Vader, that's going to work. If not, Emperor Palpatine, you got Emperor Palpatine in here, you're trying to bring some other Empire characters in. Lord Vader with Empire characters as well can work. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit grindy. Yeah, this is where I think a lot of people are going to get filtered in terms of feats and being able to get certain feats done. And then your mini boss node, win with Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano in your squad. Don't have her, so I can't go for that. Win the battle with no tanks in your squad. That one should be doable. Again, what we've seen so far with Lord Vader, you can bring Lord Vader and bring some Empire characters in with him, like Thrawn, Piet, you can bring in Palpatine, you can bring in different Empire characters that aren't tanks. That should not be too much of an issue, and you're able to kind of work on the Empire feat as well. Then you get to your boss node, defeat an enemy with Balin's Skull. If you have Balin's Skull, should not be too difficult. If you don't have Balin, like I don't, not gonna be able to get this. And then win with Crosshair Scarred Surviving. So, yeah, you know, you can cheese this as well. Rey can make this easy. You can bring in some other characters to kind of hide Crosshair Scarred, make sure he's get buffed up with protection and everything. Should not be too difficult, but yeah, this one, we'll have to see how that all pans out. And yeah, that's kind of all the feats here. Sector 5 I think Sector 5 is going to be difficult for a lot of people with the Order 66, and that one's going to be tricky. That's gonna be a lot of lost points for a lot of characters. And then Sectors 3 and 4 really kind of grindy as well. Sector 3 with winning battles with no attackers and then having to win with Darth Vader surviving. Yeah, a lot to break down here. We'll see what the Data Discs get here in the future. We can talk more about what Data Discs are optimal for your lineups. We'll break that all down in a future video, but I want to hear from you guys. What are your all's feelings on these sector feats? Are you guys feeling good about this one? Are you not feeling good? Let me know down below. As always, if you guys have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time.